you for joining me tonight for our topic about Cambodia, which is it safe? Is it safe to come and visit? Should you be worried? Should you postpone any plans that you might have to come visit Cambodia? Um, well, I'm going to tell you why. No, I don't think so. I don't think you should be worried. There is a lot going on, and so we're going to talk about it. Uh, so first, we'll talk about the border with Thailand. There were some clashes that happened earlier in July. Then there was a peace agreement, um, and that was signed in Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur. So it's known as the Kuala Lumpur Peace Agreement, and it's kind of falling apart right now. At least on the Thai side, they have unilaterally said they're not going to honor the peace agreement. So what does that mean for Cambodia? Um, First off, Cambodia is not fighting back. There has been some various aggression happening at the border, but Cambodia is abiding by the peace agreement not to engage. And they're calling on the international community to and ASEAN, but neutral parties to come and do investigating and to see what's happening. So, what's actually going on? Well, a few days ago, maybe a week ago, there was a Thai soldier that stepped on a landmine. Okay, and so that kind of started this recent situation. Um, Thailand is claiming that Cambodia has planted new landmines. Cambodia says, no, these are old leftover landmines from the Khmer Rouge time or the Civil War after that, in the 80s and the 90s. So and Cambodia is asking for independent observers to go in and investigate and determine whether or not these were new landmines or old landmines. Okay, but meanwhile, the Thai forces attacked a village on the Cambodian village on the border, and one Cambodian died and 3 were injured. And then, like a day or two after that, there was a migrant worker who was trying to cross the border somewhere because the border crossings are closed. So there was a group of migrant workers, but one of them was a woman, and 7 men assaulted her. Okay, so I'm not going to use the normal term just in case YouTube doesn't like it, but you get what I mean when 7 soldiers assaulted this woman. And so this is not a good situation. There's things that are escalating. And then I just saw a news story today, just a blurb. There wasn't a lot of information, but there were some ASEAN observers that were on the border in Poi Phet, I believe. Let me check for you really quick. Persat. They were in Persat province, and because I want to make sure I get it right for you. And while they were there at the border, they could hear gunfire, so they left for their own safety. They could not stay and complete their mission. And that just happened this morning. It's just starting to come out. But what's the so is this like Cambodia, all of Cambodia, this is like unsafe now? No. If you go to Siem Reap, everything's fine. If you want to go see the temples, Angkor Wat and everything up there, everything's fine. If you want to come to Phnom Penh, you want to do business, or you just want to, if you're a tourist and you want to see the Royal Palace and Wat Phnom and everything, if you want to go down to the beaches, everything's fine. The skirmishes and the things that are happening are only on the border with Thailand. So as long as you don't go to that area, there's really, really no problem and no reason not to come to Cambodia. Um, Turn up my volume again. Okay. I was going to ask about that. Thanks, Mumsy. Uh, how's that? Is that better? Oops. Is that can? Hey, Chalet, welcome. Um, so before I move on to the next topic, uh, is the sound better? We're not playing any music today, so we don't have to like worry about competing sounds between myself and any videos. Um, okay, the second thing is the scam centers. All right, you might see it's a little better. Let me try doing the auto adjust again. And this, okay, I'm gonna start talking and you tell me if this is much better. It's a little different, but it's okay. But you wrote that before I just made this change. And I'll change it back to what it was if this isn't even better. So scam centers. People are being, it's that was better. Yes. Okay, I'm going to keep going then. So there are scam centers, call centers that are operating here in Cambodia. The government is cracking down on them. I mean, almost every day I'm hearing about another one being raided. Okay, but they do operate right now, and they recruit people online. And so these people from different countries come to Cambodia for a job. All right. Then when they get here, the minute they get off the plane, somebody's there to pick them up. And that person that picks them up takes their passport, and they're basically held hostage from that point forward to work in these call centers. And they get tortured, and sometimes they die. Sometimes they get rescued during a raid, but that is not a good situation. However, if you're just a tourist or you're coming here on business, you're coming here on your own, it's not a problem. Yeah, those people suck. Yeah. So you don't really have to worry about that. Crime, like street crime, not a lot, unless you're out, after midnight and you're stumbling around drunk. Then there are kind of gangster type people in those parts of town where you're getting drunk late at night, right? Because the normal places are closed. Okay, you can go to bars and stuff like that. They're probably going to close around midnight. But the ones that stay open with the girly bars and all of that kind of stuff, they're probably open 24 hours. Then those are the places that attract that element that will rob you when you're stumbling around drunk. So just don't get that drunk and you won't have a problem. Okay. But that's true anywhere. Go to New Orleans, go to New York City, go to Los Angeles, go to London, go to Paris. There are parts of town that this kind of crime is going to happen. So you just, if you're just a tourist or you're just a business person and you're coming here looking at business opportunities, you're coming here looking to retire, you're coming here just to enjoy the tourism, then it's not going to be a problem. So let me know, what are some other concerns that you might have? Mumsy says, yes, it goes on everywhere. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to be confident. Don't look like a victim. Don't look like an easy target, and you'll be fine. Don't walk around with your camera on a stick like this in the street and you're talking to the camera and someone's going to come by and snatch it. All right.
So it's really just a personal responsibility in that sense. And I've met people over the years that it just seems like they have the worst luck. It's like their camera got stolen, then their phone gets stolen, then their bag gets stolen, and I'm like, and I've lived here, and maybe at the time I lived there 5, 6, 7 years, and I'm like, doesn't happen to me every day. I mean, what? How is your energy attracting this kind of misfortune? It just, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, so sometimes people just have bad luck, but again, that would just be anywhere. It's not because it's Cambodia. So give me some questions, give me some concerns. What have you heard? What would keep you from coming to Cambodia? If you're watching on replay, go ahead and write it in the comments. But those of you watching now, write me something in the chat, and then I can answer it. Because I mean, normally I can have a conversation with a fence post. People who know me know that I'm like that. So I could usually can just talk about anything, but I've kind of covered most of my points that I wrote down. On the Thai border situation, it's really interesting that they got a new Thai prime minister, and he made a comment a couple of days ago that he doesn't care about the trade deals, because when they signed the peace agreement, the U.S. was there, and they offered trade deals to each separate trade deals, one for Cambodia and one for Thailand, after they signed their peace agreement. And the Thai prime minister has come out and said he doesn't care about the trade deals. They'll do business with other countries. Yeah. When the U.S. puts you on their blacklist, then what they do is they tell the other countries, like they'll say to the whole European Union or something, if you do business with this country, we're not going to do business with you. And so then, well, they can't lose the U.S. business, so they'll stop doing business with that country. I mean, I don't think he understands how dangerous the situation is for Thailand to have that kind of stance. Past the 15th, did I hear from Chani? Well, I heard from her a couple of times after she made that message saying, oh, if you don't hear, because she was like saying, I'm trying to make it to Phnom Penh because I'm escaping. And if I don't make it by the 15th, and the situation has changed since then. So, no, I haven't heard anything recently since my last updates. And so I'm not doing anything. Is there new building going up? And blackmail. Yeah, it's kind of like blackmail. That's true. New building is going up. There is a lot of new buildings. Mumsy, since the last time you were here, you probably wouldn't even recognize a lot of things. There's a lot of skyscrapers here. They're just going up so fast. It's scary kind of for me, But when I first moved here in 2007, that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to get here as quick as I could, because I could see, I could see that the development was starting. I mean, they weren't starting to build a lot of skyscrapers yet, but I mean, they only had 2. And they only had like 2 streetlights, 2 intersections with streetlights. Not lights that light the street, but stoplights. They only had 2 intersections with traffic lights on them. But I could see that the progress was starting, and I wanted to be here in Cambodia before all that change happened. And so I was, and now I'm watching it happen. Speaking of progress and change, McDonald's is apparently in negotiations with somebody to possibly open McDonald's here. And for myself, I don't think I like that. There is a Carl's Jr., there's KFC, there's Burger King, there's Dairy Queen, there's Swenson's, there's lots of American brands, there's Hard Rock Cafe. But McDonald's is, I think the Cambodians in particular really feel like if you don't have McDonald's, you're not there yet. Your country isn't developed yet. You're still this undeveloped, poor country. But when you get McDonald's, it's like a stamp of approval. It's a status symbol in a way in the mind of Cambodians, and they want it, and I know people have tried to get it before, but they couldn't get the licensing. Starbucks too, for a long time wouldn't. I think that they were willing to license, but it was too high. There was no Cambodian willing to pay the licensing that they were requiring. So, but eventually somebody did some kind of negotiations and got the franchise. And so we have Starbucks now. Yeah, it's late in coming. But you don't like McDonald's? I'm loving it. Yeah, with a lot of your videos. No, I mean, I ate McDonald's when I was there in the US. Mumsy and I, we went to McDonald's a couple of times. Shocking how, when I was growing up, it's like, and not just growing up, but as a young adult, McDonald's was cheap food. That's where you went to eat when you didn't have a lot of money. And now it's like so expensive. I don't know. More In-N-Out. Mumsy, yeah, I love In-N-Out. I think I only had it 3 times, maybe 4. I would have been happy with some more In-N-Out while I was there. I don't think In-N-Out Burger is going to franchise internationally. I think it took them a long time just to branch outside of California. But that would be wonderful if they had In-N-Out Burger here. But it's I don't know. Well, I'm interested to see what the prices will be like. I think they would probably have to be competitive with Burger King and Carl's Jr. as far as prices, which is $5-6 for their main burgers. Maybe $4.50, like $4 or $4.50 for the smaller ones, and then like up to $7 or $8 if it's like loaded and double and everything, or if you want a combo. Yeah. But it's how much? Starbucks for coffee they have tall and grande, and then the larger size. I never get the largest, so I don't remember the name for that. Tall is the smallest size, grande is the medium, and it's about $3.50 for just a regular coffee, $3.50, and then like about $4.50, $4.85 for the medium size. But if you get like pumpkin spice or toffee, then it's like the $4.50, $4.85 for the tall, for their smallest size. but here in Cambodia, there's an app, there's a Starbucks app, and so it's free to be like a member, and then you earn points for free coffee. Um, and they often have specials like, buy one, get one, or right now they have like a deal that if you buy any food, then you get a free upgrade on whichever size drink you're getting. Um, so they have a lot of promotions. But yeah, McDonald's might be coming. It wouldn't be this year, but I don't know, maybe next year, maybe 2007. Any other questions about Cambodia? And it doesn't have to be about like why you're afraid to come to Cambodia. It could be just anything about Cambodia. Like we're talking about the progress. Trash cleanup is fine. It's not dirty. They're, they come pick up the trash all the time. Well, is this going to be just a short? Maybe this is just going to be short. Next week, I will do the Thanksgiving lesson. How's the drinking water? Good question. See, I'm getting like the things that because I've lived here for so long. So many things are just normal to me. So in the cities, Phnom Penh and Siem Reap, Battambang, you have water treatment plants that take water from the rivers and purify it and treat it. And so it's totally international standard when it's leaving the treatment plant. Then depending on the actual place, the house that you're in, then you got to think about the pipes. All right. Are the pipes clean that are in the walls or in the ground around your house? And I guess anybody could just like, if you're renting someplace and you want to know, then you could take some of your tap water to a lab and have them test it, and you can see how clean it is when it's at your tap. So basically you can cook, you can shower. I mean, there's some places that are around the world, there's places where they say you shouldn't even brush your teeth with the water because that water, the germs or the parasites or whatever that's in the water, once it's in your mouth, it can, even if you don't swallow it to drink it, but it can go through your gums and things like that, right? And so you shouldn't even brush your teeth with the water. You should only use bottled water to brush your teeth. It's not like that. You brush your teeth, you cook with it, and everything. I usually get those big water bottle things. They're 20-liter bottles here. And I'll make coffee with that, with the kettle, coffee, tea, whatever. But if the bottle runs out and I haven't replaced it yet, then I'll use tap water in the kettle, and I don't have to boil it for 20 minutes or something. I just push the button and yeah, it gets up to a boil and then it clicks off and it's fine. Yeah, so Chalet, if you take a shower, you have to keep your mouth closed. So yeah, I just addressed that. So it's not like Mexico. Question, comments, criticisms, absolutely. And there's plenty of different bottled waters available. There's Avion and things like that. There's local brands, and some are better than others. But if you're worried about that, just stick with an international brand of water and you're fine. Or ask other people which one, like, oh, I like Vital or I like Oral, and you can, High Tech is another good one. The ice in general is good. What the ice that's not necessarily good is the ice that comes in like these these big rectangular blocks, and they just like use an axe, and they cut off these big chunks for the ice chests. Okay, because a lot of people, they don't have refrigerators, they just use ice chests, and so that ice is not good. But any ice that's like in a cube, in some kind, different shapes of cubes, is fine. I said something about people always saying yes before. Yeah, a lot of times if somebody doesn't, maybe they speak a little bit of English, but they don't speak a lot and they don't understand what you're saying, they don't want to admit that they don't know what you're talking about, and so they'll just yes, just smile and yes. So we have to be aware of that sometimes for communication purposes. And don't get upset at them. It's like, why are you saying yes? You don't know. Rah, rah, rah. Don't throw a fit. You just smile back and like go find someone else to ask whatever your question is. Just don't push it. Don't push it with people. If you're smart enough to figure out that they have no clue, then don't humiliate them. They're being kind. They're doing culturally what you're supposed to do. They're not getting angry. They're not crying. They're not having a fit. They're smiling and they're being polite. They're, in their mind, they're being polite. They're doing the thing that they're supposed to do. Yeah, good advice. So what else do you guys want to know? Ask me anything. This is called a chroma. This is the standard, see the ends of it, the standard scarf, but it can be wrapped around you. You can use it like a towel for a shower. You can use it like hobo style to wrap something up in and carry it, and then sling it over your shoulder like a backpack. You can tie it up on your head like a headband. What's my favorite color? Blue. That's why my walls are blue. And my curtains are blue. I hate pink. I absolutely hate pink. But this is a nice shirt. I like kind of the cut of the way the neckline is. And so this is what I wore teaching today. What color blue? Pretty much more the dark blue is my favorite. You love Bluetooth. My eyeliner's blue, but you probably can't tell that. It's this. And green. Oh, hi, Adam. Did it take you long to learn Khmer? Any advice on trying to learn the language? Hello from Ireland. I love Ireland. I've been there a couple of times. And am I doing Thanksgiving? Okay, I'll get to that after Adam. I'm not fluent, and I've been here 18 years, but I don't study, right? And the best way is to like immerse yourself, like with a family or being out in the countryside where no one speaks English. And so you have to pick it up. And then I think you pick it up a lot quicker. You have to be careful if you like get somebody to tutor you in the language, because you have to understand there were 4 Khmer languages. The monks had their own language. The royal family had their own language. And then you had two more. One was more upper class. One was more lower class. All right. And during the Khmer Rouge time, anybody who spoke the upper class was killed or put to hard labor, right? So everybody had to like start speaking the lower class one. And then after the Khmer Rouge, people started speaking the upper class, but it was like all mixed up with the lower class now. So, and I say that because sometimes that when the tutors are just teaching you the upper class one, and then it doesn't work when you're out on the street. I had a friend of mine that was taking lessons, and she wanted some ice. And I said, oh, well, when I need ice, I just say, samto taka. And that's like, please, ice. She goes, no, that's not how you say ice. Taka is not how you say ice. You're supposed to say it like this, whatever way. But when she would go into a store and ask for ice and try to get ice, they had no clue what she was saying. When I ask for ice, it doesn't matter who it is. They know I'm saying ice. Okay. Some of the vowel sounds are really hard for me as a native English speaker. I think the French actually have, like they have a lot of kind of sounds, like more guttural. And so I think that it's easier for them to pick up some of the sounds you need to make in Khmer. And I don't know with like the Irish Gaelic, if that would help, because I don't know all the sounds you make with Irish Gaelic. Because if you're from Ireland, I think they've really been, from my understanding, they've been teaching it in schools a lot more now, so that the language isn't lost. So you probably know how to speak that, and maybe that will help. And then some people are just natural polyglots. That's the word for someone who can speak a lot of different languages. And so you'll notice people will speak 1 or 2 or up to 3 languages, and that's it. Or they'll speak 6, 7, 8 languages, right? And Cambodians have that natural ability to pick up languages. So most Cambodians will speak at least 5 languages. Mon Dieu. See, yeah, that do. If you say it right, it's like, ew, The other thing about language, I've mentioned this in other streams, but I'll mention it for you, is there's consonants that they don't push out. So there could be a K or a T on the end of a word. Like if I say cat, we say the T, cat, right? But if I said cat, I'm making the T in my mouth, but I'm not pushing it out. They can hear it. And then if I said with a K, cat. So I did cat. Well, I did cat. I did it with a K 2 times. I did it with a T 2 times. And I did it with the K 2 times again. And I don't know if you could hear the difference, but they would be able to hear the difference. So that's one thing you have to learn to do is and also if you're saying a word and they're telling you to pronounce it and you're pronouncing it and they say, no, that's not it. And what you hear, it's like, yeah. And so you try maybe making some kind of variation and with the vowel sounds or something. I say cat, cot, cat, kit, cat, and they're saying, no. Ask them, how do you spell it in, they say Roman alphabet. Okay. So how do you spell it in the Roman alphabet? And then you see what that silent letter is. And then you can make it in your throat without pushing it out. And then they go, yes, you got it. Wow, amazing insight. Thanks so much. I'll just try to learn the slang words. Yeah, exactly. I'm a walking encyclopedia. Well, that's why I'm the Maven. Hey, Gibbo's in the house. Start again. I'm here. No, you'll have to watch the replay. um, yeah, so those are just some tips. Yeah. Any other questions? Come on. Questions. I'm happy to answer anything. You know, if you go into, I've got playlists on my channel, and if you want to know what I thought about my trip to Ireland, I'm sure there's one. Let's look. Give me a second. The cat is like in front of me. Not in front of, well, yeah, he's in front of me, but like in front of my screen. Are there a lot of Americans there? Yeah, there's a lot of Americans. There's a lot of Australians and people from New Zealand. Now there's a lot of Chinese. Okay, so I'll come over here to my channel. Playlists. So, see, here's the travel vlog. There's 23 videos. I also want to see here's the real Cambodia, and 154 videos. I tried to take out the ones that were like true crime Cambodia because they don't need to be in here. But if you're interested in learning more about Cambodia, then this is the place to go. This playlist. We can look at the playlist real quick. See, these are the more recent ones. Today, right now, 6 people watching. The real cost of living. Then they got little shorts, students making turkeys. How to handle a dispute in Cambodia. What's it like to live? My first day back home. How was my trip to America? Some shorts. Oh, see, there's still a true crime one. I didn't get rid of all of them. Angry about medical costs. This is what I pay in Cambodia. Some film stuff. Recent history of Cambodia with context and Victory Day celebration. Yeah. So there's some various stuff in there. You guys are seeing this, right? Yeah. Is it difficult to find English teaching jobs? No, it's not difficult. So I was going to look here. Let's look at the travel vlog and see if there's Ireland. Oh, there you go. Let's go to Ireland and Scotland. That's when my mom. That's when I went with my mom. There's another one of our trip to Europe. Part 1, part 2, part 3, which would include some Ireland. Hanoi, Hong Kong. That's okay. So that's it. There's the trip to Europe, and then let's go to Ireland and Scotland. That might actually have pictures of when I went by myself. Hey, Andy's in the house. There are so many schools because during the Khmer Rouge, people lost everything that they had, right? And so they really, really take to heart that education is something that can't be taken from you. And so, like the Gen Zs of Cambodia are the smartest generation, you know, because they've had so much time in school. Next time you're in Ireland, I'll buy you a Guinness. All right. I don't usually drink beer, but I would drink one with you. Oh my gosh, I love the food. I love the food in Ireland. Oh, I love potatoes. Well, I have a lot of Irish ancestry. Of course, every American does, right? But Scottish and Irish. And my goodness, like colcannon, I cook that here in Cambodia because we've got potatoes, we've got cabbage. Yeah. Mm. Let's see. But teaching jobs. So there's like schools everywhere. Your problem is going to be getting hired by a school that doesn't pay, doesn't pay on time and has really bad administration. And so because they love having foreigner teachers, but they don't want to follow international standards. They want to do things their way, and their way is having a paper trail for everything. You have to have proof of everything, and so so they so they make you do a lot of paperwork that you shouldn't have to do. I mean, some schools, right? Other schools are more international standard. So it used to be, as long as you were a native English speaker, you didn't have to have any qualifications. You could walk in and get a job at a school. They are much more savvy now about that. And so they do want at least like the TESOL or the IELTS certification. As long as you have that certification, it's not going to be hard at all. And if you have any kind of experience, that helps you too. But you definitely want to talk to other people who are teaching that can tell you, like, yeah, that's a good school. Oh no, stay away from that school. But there's plenty of jobs, but that you're not going to get, unless you're like at a PhD level that's going to teach at a university. There's no point in like contacting a school about getting a job. You don't need to have a letter that says you're working here in order to like get a visa. They're going to give you a visa on arrival. You just want to make sure that you don't get the tourist visa. It's the same price for the tourist visa or the e-visa. They call it. It used to be called a business visa. Now technically it's called the e-visa. So you want to get the e-visa, and even if you don't stay, it's the same price. So it didn't matter that you were just here as a tourist, but you can renew it indefinitely when you have the e-visa. You cannot transfer a tourist visa into an e-visa. You'll have to leave the country and come back in. So that's important to know. And then you'll need to get a work permit. But if you're at a good school, they'll take care of all that for you. And you just have to pay the money. Or if they're a really good school, they'll pay for your work permit. But most schools don't, but a few do. Yep. Have I heard from Chani again? No. Great advice. Thanks so much. Really helpful. You're welcome, Adam. And if you ever have any other questions, just, hit me up with them. Chani, for anyone who doesn't know, is a young lady that lived with me. She was like my daughter. She helped take care of all the pets. So she was my pet nanny. She took care of all the plants in the garden. She would clean the house. She would cook. And she met somebody. She met a boyfriend and went and moved to Vietnam with him. And so there's been various drama about that, but whatever. And no, there's no update since the last time I heard from her, which was like when she was in Bavette. And yeah, maybe a week after she was in Bavette, she contacted me and asked me to send her boyfriend a message saying, please let Chani go back to Cambodia. And so I sent him a message and I said, please let, something like, because she's like, oh, but don't let him know that I told you to send the message or whatever. And I'm like, may or may not be true, may or may not be her. I don't know. Could be anybody using her phone, right? And so I went ahead and sent a message saying maybe it would be a good idea to send Chani back to Cambodia to live with her dad. Live with her dad in the countryside. So that's it. And then I haven't heard anything else. It was a very good Christmas that she had last year. Anyone who wants to know, there's videos. You can check them out. I think she realizes that maybe that she had it pretty good, you know. But I don't know, maybe there's part of her that thinks that this, um, she's where she belongs, you know. Hope she's happy. Yeah, me too. So I wish her the best. I haven't packed up any of her stuff. I haven't bothered with anything in the room at all. You know, a lot of the stuff that she had was things that people gave to her because when she came here, she really didn't have anything. So not much was hers. She probably took anything that she felt was important with her. So I figure if I get somebody else, I've got friends of mine that are like asking their villages in the countryside, you know, hey, is there somebody that would like to uh, come take Channy's place, basically? Then I'll let them help me pack, you know, clean the room and pack her things up and um, see if there's anything that they want to have. Then they could have it. And things that like my mom and I gave her, it whatever's still here, then we'll just keep that, you know, or let the other girl use it. She had a beautiful smile. Yeah. Well, she has a beautiful smile. Thanksgiving, somebody asked, Mumsy, you asked about Thanksgiving. So I don't have, I sent a message to I have like this VIP group. I call it my VIP group. And I put a message in there that I'm planning for Thanksgiving. I need to know by Sunday, and anybody who wants to come, I need to charge $15. I said the prices of turkeys are really high this year, so I need to charge $15 per person, and that needs to be paid by Sunday, this coming Sunday. And nobody's confirmed. Parting is such sweet sorrow that we shall say goodbye till it be morrow. Yes, Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, I knew parting. I recognized the quote. So I might not, if I don't have anybody confirm that they want to come over and they want to come and they're going to pay the $15, then I'm just not going to do it. I'll do it next year, or maybe I could do a Christmas dinner. You know, the same setup, the same meal, but do it at Christmas instead of Thanksgiving. But I'm not going to cook a turkey just for myself. $70 for a turkey. I don't know what they are in the U.S., but $65 to $70 for a Norbest turkey. There are turkeys, not a lot, but there are some turkeys here in Cambodia, and I don't know how much it would cost to get one. Maybe $20 or something, like a butchered turkey. You know, I would like to thank me for being here. Thank me. Okay, Gibbo. Thank you. So you changed from I'll be Frank to Gibbo After Dark, huh? Is that because I don't stop calling you Gibbo? You don't want people to be confused who I'm talking to in the chat? Yeah. Anything else, guys? Anything you want to know about Cambodia? We can't stop the Gibbs. No. That makes me think of was it NCIS? Is that the show with Gibbs? Oh, Gibbo After Dark is here. Oh, you're working both of them at the same time. Okay. Well, thank you. That means I get double watch hours. Thank you, Gibbo. I appreciate it. Once a gib, always a gib. I appreciate that. Yeah, Mumsy's confirming it. It is NCIS with Gibbs. I used to like to watch that show. I never after I moved to Cambodia, the Singapore station, AXN, had it. And so I was able to keep up with it for a while, but I don't know. Then I didn't have cable anymore or something. And so, yeah, I never saw like the end of the series. Yeah, there's more than, there's spin-off NCISs. This is true. I was talking about the original with Gibbs. Well, there's only one of me. Thank God. You can thank him. Okay. Thank you, God, for Chalet. And thank you for everybody that's here. I really appreciate it. And we're wrapping up here. It's been an hour, close to an hour now. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that love transcends time and space. So whenever and wherever you are watching this, I love you. And I really, really, really do thank you for spending time with me, because there's so many things on YouTube that you could be watching. And for you to choose to spend some time with me, I really, really appreciate it. I've heard there's a doppelganger out there. Imagine two chalets. And Gibbo says, hit the share, hit the like and the share, and subscribe if you're not. That's right. One of these days, I'll get my 3,000 watch hours in 1 year, because the year, the date keeps moving of 1 year. So, and anyway, I was like up to 2,000 watch hours, but then because the year moved, like some popular stuff that I had dropped out of the year. So now I'm back down to like 1,200 watch hours. Once I hit 3,000, then I can do, it's not about the monetization. It's more of what I'm excited about is emojis, that I can make custom emojis, and then you guys can super sticker the emojis or something, or I guess membership. I would do like $1, $2 membership, and then all my content, you don't get any special content. All my content is still free, but because if you're a member, you get access to the emojis. That's what it is. See, I'm not there yet, so I'll understand it clearer once it happens. Yes, nice to meet you too, Adam. Hope to see, sometimes I do games, sometimes I talk true crime. It varies a little bit. Wednesday is usually Cambodia Day. Monday is usually music trivia. Thursday is like random trivia games. Sunday is crosswords. And then if there's ever something that pops up, like on Monday, I did one on true crime. So I hope to see you back again. Chalet says it sucks that they keep changing the rules. Yeah. You're an official stalker of this channel now. Don't worry. All right, Adam. And if you make it over to Cambodia, I hope to meet you when you're here. We are a sarcastic bunch. Yes, we can be, but we're pretty kind, I think. I mean, we can tease each other and poke at each other, but nobody's ever rude, So it's pretty good. And Andy, it's been a while since I've seen you. So no snow yet? You guys, was it just Southern California that had a lot of rain? Andy lives up near Mount Shasta in California, so it's early for you. Everybody's fur babies are okay? Mostly? It's Gen X mostly? Mostly, yeah. But any generation it's rainy. It's rainy. Yeah. I heard there was one of those super river things coming the last few days. Chalet says it's another sunshiny day in Florida. Well, that's good. Last night was like a lot of rain, and then today it was overcast, but it never rained. So it should start getting to be colder weather in January here. Colder, which would be like in the 70s, this Fahrenheit, or in the the 20s in Celsius. The last few days, rain. Is that an orange? There used to be this place in Florida that was like Orange World. And then they had like Circus World and stuff. And I remember going there when I was little. Palm trees. I got palm trees. We actually have oranges here, but the skin of the orange is green. The inside is orange color, just like a normal orange, but the outside is green. And apparently that's like the original way oranges were before they got breeded into orange colors. I guess. I don't know. Indian River Grove. Yeah, Orange Grove. Yeah. Yeah. I still have pictures, or Mumsy has the pictures. I got a lot of pictures here in Cambodia. I got some boxes of pictures. Probably have some pictures here. But all right, so let's wrap it up. And so tomorrow I'll be back. Same bat time, same bat channel, wherever you are. We'll have some fun playing some games. So until then, catch you later.